Psychics. Do you know one? How do they operate? How do they know they're a psychic? Well, we talked to Rachael, who is a psychic. Stay tuned. And welcome to the Brac Shop. And this is the portal to the paranormal and the spiritual and the unexplained. And I'm Tom from the shop. So welcome. What is a psychic? How do they work? Well, according to Wikipedia, this is what they say. A psychic is a person who claims to use extrasensory perception to identify information hidden from the normal senses. And that includes telepathy, clairvoyance, palm reading, tarot reading, and other similar features as well. But I've got Rachael here, so let's delve in and speak to Rachael. Now, also, if you like this episode, please click the like button and press on the subscribe if this is your first time, so you won't miss out on any of my episodes, and click the bell and the notification button. And for those of you who want to buy me a drink, and if you're familiar with our Facebook group, it's our other community platform where we can get together and actually chat with one another, read other people's questions, answer other people's answers, and a little community. And I have the end of week drinks there as well. And so it's quite nice here that I've installed the drink button. If you want to buy me a drink, a coffee, or a bit more for something stronger, or even enough to buy lunch or dinner maybe, the option is there. And it's just nice because it's a way of helping the channel and the group as well. So let's speak to Rachael. Hi, Rachael. Thanks for coming on the show, because you've come quite a long way now, and you've even got your own channel and shows going, I believe, as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, yeah. Let me update you then. As
Wonderful.
Let me take you from the age of 3, because that's when it all really started for me. Okay, so my mother and I were going to my granny's one day, and I was 3. And it was the boiling hot summer of 1976. So now you know how old I am. And I went inside my granny's, and she shut the door. And I said, "Granny, you've shut the door on Tracy." And she says, to my mother, and she says, "Oh, let Tracy in, just for goodness sake, let Tracy in." And Tracy was my first spirit guide. So obviously my mum thought it was an imaginary friend, but obviously my dad knew different. Now, it's my dad's family that are the Romany gypsy side of the family, which I've since found out is a huge family, okay? And they originate from all over the UK, you know, it's not just one place, but they're mainly based in the East and West Midlands. So yeah, Tracy was my first actual spirit guide. Now, Tracy left me when I was about 5, so she was only there for a couple of years. And when I was 3, my great granny Drusilla, she actually passed away when I was 3, but these days she guides me. So she didn't really come through until my teens. And you know what teenagers are like. You know, they're all hormonal, and I didn't want to listen to her, and I didn't really have really much clue what was going on with me. I used to draw in the air as a child, and I used to draw all sorts, but it was my way of communicating, obviously with spirit, but I didn't really realize it until obviously much later in my life. So teens were very difficult for me because I always felt different. I always felt like I had a really good home life, really happy childhood. I loved school. I was very academic, but I always felt different. I always felt like I never fit in.
Right.
From the outside, I looked like I fitted in, but in my head, I didn't. There was something different about me that I just couldn't put my finger on. So I kind of, left things alone throughout the teens, mainly ignored my psychic ability, because teenagers don't want to feel different. They want to follow everybody else. Yeah. They want to fit in with their peers. So that's kind of like what I did till I got in a very bad abusive relationship. And one day I woke up and I was about 22, and I'd been with this person for about 4 years, and he'd just been sent to prison. And one day I woke up and I heard, no, you are not going to see him again. He is bad for you. And I was like, oh, who's this? Who are you? And it was clear as day, the voice in my head. Okay. So I got a lot of grief for not going to the prison to see him. But very slowly, I cut away from this person and spent the next couple of years on my own. And then I happened to need a job one day, and I'd been working at, to cut a very long story short, right, which you don't need to know about, I was working at a hotel, and that the job finished, and I was in need of employment. So I was walking up a main street in Leicester, where I live, and my granny, Drusilla, who I now know was Drusilla who spoke to me that day, because she'd since introduced herself, but she'd come and go. She didn't really stay around much. I think she was kind of introducing herself to me. She said, go to the shop that has the waiter outside. Oh, I don't know what you're on about. So she said, it's where you'll find him and where you'll find the job. So this recruitment agency that I was intending to go into a few recruitment agencies to find maybe some waitressing, silver service waitressing, bar work, hotel kind of work, basically what I'd been doing. Went into this recruitment agency with the waiter outside, advertising for silver service waitresses. And I asked if they got any. And she says, oh no, she says, we've not got anything at the moment. The only thing we've got is the pie factory. I was like, I don't really want to work in a factory. I wanted a hotel or a bar or a restaurant, or, I'm a silver service waitress. What am I doing? No, thank you. So she says, well, it's the only thing we've got at the minute. And she says, the money's very good. And she told me what the money was. And I'm like, oh, that is really good. And she says, it's really busy at the moment. And it was about October. And she says, they take on a lot of people during Christmas, and they do keep half of them over the Christmas period. And then there's always jobs afterwards, if you want to go permanently. I was like, never worked in a hotel in my life. I had lots of admin experience and hotelier experience, but never worked in a factory. So I was picked up at 5:30 the next day, and I was doing a 6 till 2 shift, and Drusilla kept saying to me, he's there, he's there, he's there. No idea what it was on about. I was single at the time, which obviously matters because of what I'm going to tell you next. And there was this very strange man, okay, very strange man, and he worked, it was called pre-bake. So literally it was a pork pie factory. So literally you got little balls of pastry and podded them. Very, very, very monotonous work. Hated it. But there was this guy there called Lee, and we got chatting, and roughly about 6 months later we started seeing each other, and we've now been together 24 years and married 18 years. So Drusilla guided me to Lee. Over the years, she's done an awful lot more for me, obviously. So yeah, she's one of my guides. I do have more.
Right, we had a little technical hitch, but we're back on. So where did we leave off? You've met Lee, and
Yeah.
You've got a few different guides. What happened to Tracy? Why did she disappear when you were about 5?
I know now why she disappeared, but I didn't know then. Okay, so you have roughly about 35 to 70 guides in your lifetime as a whole. Wow. And they come and go as to what's happening in your life at the time. So you'll have like a child guide, a marriage guide, career guide, school guide. You'll have lots of different guides come and go as and when you need them. So she obviously was my early child guide, and obviously I didn't need her. I wasn't aware of having a guide from the age of 5 till about 12. I must have done, but I wasn't aware of it. So I think the drawing that I used to do was probably my connection to spirit. It may have been I had like a primary school guide at the time. There may have been somebody there at the time. I just wasn't aware of who it was.
So in a way, it might have been like how everyone goes through life without realizing they've got someone with them, but they have. So
yes, yeah, something like that. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like if you develop your psychic abilities, if you do a special meditation called Meet Your Guides and go into it, then obviously you know who your guides are. But I wasn't aware of anybody. It's funny though, because I like spending time on my own, but I never feel alone. And what I used to do is between the ages of 5 and I don't know, just kind of teenage years, I did like to spend a lot of time on my own in my bedroom. So normally children of the primary school age are frightened on their own and are frightened of spending time on their own, but I never was. You know, I liked to spend time on my own. So I guess there must have been somebody there.
Right. I didn't have a choice. I virtually grew up by myself, so I had to be on my own in my bedroom.
Yeah. I mean, I had brothers and sisters, but I like being on my own. No, she was about 16.
16.
She was about, yeah, she was as obviously, like I was 3, 4, 5, as a small child. It was somebody who I looked up to, but not too distant. She was about 14, 15, 16, but she definitely wasn't an adult, and she definitely wasn't a small child. Okay. It was who a child would look up to an older child, and that's what she was. Yeah.
And was Tracy, would you say she passed over at that age, or she took on that age?
More than likely.
More than likely passed
over at that age. Yeah. It when I asked many years later where she was, and I just heard she's at peace now. She's okay. She's at peace now. So she'd obviously like moved on to a higher plane, and probably not a spirit guide anymore, probably a little bit higher. So that's where she went. So I have a psychic development group, which only the actual Facebook group has been going for a few years, but I've since started up a membership site, and there's people on the site. It started in October, and there's people on the site whose abilities are coming through strong now. Okay. Literally a few months later. Yeah.
We did our first membership site.
Yes, this is
so anyone can join, or tell us
yes, that's right. Yeah. Okay. So mypsychicdevelopment.com. Okay. I founded this in October. We currently have around 50 members, and there are meditations and content on the site to give you a bit of a first look, if you like, into like if you've got abilities, how to recognize them, how to bring them out, etc. I also teach Reiki healing, And the reason why I've linked the two is, if you are going to learn how to contact spirit, if you are going to allow them to come into your life, you need protecting. Reiki can do so much more. It's like a healing from the universe, so it does much more. But I always suggest very, very heavily that anybody wanting to develop their psychic abilities more, that they do their Reiki healing in order to protect them to the best. Yeah.
Okay. And if anyone wants a healing, can they contact you?
They can, yes. They can contact me, yes.
Okay, yeah. Wonderful. And that's at your website?
You can contact me at info@mypsychicdevelopment.com if you wish.
Wonderful. I'll put the link down below for
that's fine.
our viewers.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And I'll put your membership site there as well if people want to join the membership, which sounds wonderful.
I have another website. I have a psychic telephone line as well.
Okay.
And that's www.romanyenchantments.com. Okay. And you can contact me at Rachael@romanyenchantments.com if you wish to contact me on that one. That's just and then I'll know what you want me to do. But it doesn't really matter what email you use. I'm on both.
Right. So sorry, go ahead.
So Roman Enchantments is a psychic telephone service. Okay. And a lot of the psychics on there are known to me. I'm related to some of them. And we've been in business now for just over 2 years. And I started it because there were that many psychics that I knew that wanted a platform to work from. That's why I started it, and obviously I manage that.
Right. So it's like a directory of psychics, you can say.
Yes. But it's we call it a phone line service because you can call in, or you can look on the website and call in, and you can speak to a psychic. We're going to have a booking form on there soon. We're going to have email readings being set up literally within weeks. So probably by March 2021, there will be a booking form plus email. At the moment, it's just telephone. Yeah.
And if someone wants a private reading with you, they can still get you through Rachael at romanyenchantments.com.
Yeah, they can. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, they
wonderful.
can get me there. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Wonderful. And obviously with the introduction of emails soon, it's going to make it even easier.
Right.
For you to get a reading. Yeah. And then it's going to be written down, which is, what some people want. Some people don't want a phone call. Some people want it written down. It just depends.
That sounds really exciting. I feel like I want to jump on and have a look at the Roman Enchantment website.
It's a really nice website, really lovely website. Yes, it's been professionally done. romanyenchantments.com. Yes. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And
it's a really lovely website.
So you do psychic read. Do you do any of the other stuff like tarot and whatever else there are?
So personally, I am a palm reader. Okay. So my great grandma Drusilla taught me how to read palms from spirit. Okay. So I was only 3 when she passed over. So she taught me from spirit. She still teaches me today. If there's a line on your palm that I don't know what it is, she will tell me. Okay. I also read tarot cards, oracle cards, crystal ball, photos, whatever, pendulum. You can do lots. It's what links. It's what connects you to spirit. That's what matters. All the information is the same. All the information you get is the same, whatever tool you use. Yeah. I can do the palms for a client, and then I'll go onto the card and they say exactly the same thing.
Yeah. That's really fascinating how that is So weird.
The say reputable psychics should say more or less the same thing. When obviously, like, we have a Facebook group as well, also called Romany Enchantments, and you can get free mini readings on there. And very often one of the psychics will say something on there and I agree, or vice versa. And obviously we share customers on there as well, so most of the time, 99% of the time, you get exactly the same information if you go to a reputable psychic. Yeah.
And is the Facebook group, is that open to the public as well? Can anyone join?
Yes,
that one?
it's a public group. It's Romany Enchantments. Anybody can join. Yeah.
You never know. I might ask you back on the show and ask more stuff later on.
Okay, great. Okay.
Well, thank you very, very much.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Nice to speak to you all.
So, what did you think of Rachael? So I hope that's enlightened you a bit about psychics and what they can do. And if you do have any questions for Rachael, please get in contact with her. I'll put the links down below that we've mentioned during the program. Or if you want to talk to another psychic, Rachael has the psychic line, the RomanyEnchantments.com. So do have a look at the website, have a look around, and if there's any questions, get in contact. And all the links are below as well. So what do you think? We had such a great time on that interview. In fact, we actually spoke a lot more than what we've included in today because we didn't want to go for too long. So I will be having another episode talking to Rachael about other things as well. So if you've liked this episode, please tell your friends and click the like button and share the video as well. Please do. And if it's your first time, welcome. Please subscribe and click the bell icon and also the notifications, because that's the way YouTube will let you know that I've released another episode. And join us on our Facebook group. We've launched a Facebook group. The link is below. And that's where we can have our little community where we can chat to one another, answer questions, ask questions, and answer questions. Yes, so please have a look at the Facebook group. And also follow us on Instagram as well. And if you'd like to buy me a drink, because I do have the end of week drinks, just a summing up of the week and what's coming up, there's the link below. And you can buy me a drink, a bit more for a stronger drink, or maybe lunch or dinner or something. And basically it will help the channel and the platforms as well as like the Facebook group to keep it going. Because all of this does take time as well. So, on that, thanks for joining us yet again. I hope you subscribe so you'll see us next time. And I've also got more of Rachael coming up as well. So, thanks for being with us. Until next time, stay well and happy.